Welcome to Furniture Industry News. Today is Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, and thanks for spending a few minutes with us. This week has one big question running through it. Is the consumer turnaround real? The short answer is that it's happening, but it's arriving in pieces, not all at once. Soft home is bouncing back first, while furniture and the other big-ticket categories are still waiting their turn. Let's get into it. Let's start with the retailers, because four big names all reported first-quarter results that point in the same direction. Together, these companies generate more than $6.6 billion in annual home textile sales, and every one of them is working its way back towards steady growth. The pattern is remarkably consistent. Textiles, sheets, towels, and decor are recovering, while furniture stays soft. Take Target. Its home furnishings and decor segment finally returned to growth in the first quarter, with sales up about 0.5% to $3.24 billion. That may not sound like much, but it ended a run of 8 straight quarters of decline, so it's a real turning point. Target isn't sitting still either. It's begun replacing nearly 75% of its decorative home accessories, and it's rolling out its threshold shop-in-shops to 200 stores. We'll get a clearer read on whether those changes are working when Target reports its second quarter numbers in August. Then there's Macy's. Its department stores just posted their 4th straight quarter of comparable sales gains, and Bloomingdale's set a first-quarter sales record. That was strong enough that the company raised its guidance for the rest of the year. But here's the detail that matters most for us. The chief executive, Tony Spring, pointed out that big-ticket home products, and especially furniture, kept struggling even while categories like textiles, sheets, and towels improved quarter to quarter. So even inside a company that's clearly recovering, furniture is the laggard. Kohl's tells a similar story. Its total net sales fell just under 2% to $3 billion, but comparable sales were down only about 1%, and that was actually its best comp performance in more than 4 years. Its home segment even managed a slightly positive comp, with real strength in Ninja and Shark products and low single-digit gains in home decor. So again, the softer, lower-ticket parts of home are leading the way back.
Now, why does all of this matter to you? Because the recovery isn't uniform, and that's the real lesson. If you sell furniture, plan for a slower ramp than the upbeat headlines might suggest. Soft home is recovering first. Keep an eye on whether Target's assortment overhaul and Kohl's seasonal decor strategy hold up when second quarter numbers land in August. Staying with retail, let's talk about a strategic move that's worth watching. Bed Bath & Beyond Incorporated, which is now the parent company of Bed Bath & Beyond, The Container Store, Kirkland's Home, Bye Bye Baby, and Overstock, has spent a busy 6 months reshaping itself. Instead of just selling more products, it's layering in services. It's begun converting container stores into a hybrid format that's cross-merchandised so people can shop by room. And on the acquisition front, it's moved to absorb a whole range of home-related services, including residential brokerage, mortgage, title, insurance, and homeowner financial services, plus installation, renovation, construction, and project execution. The results are starting to show. The company closed its first quarter with net revenue up nearly 7% to $248 million. That's its first significant increase in 19 quarters. Most of that money still comes from its retail business, but the company expects the balance to tip toward services over time. Here's why that's interesting for the rest of us. It's a bet that the money in home isn't only in the products, it's in the whole transaction around buying, financing, and improving a house. A large competitor is trying to attach itself to the entire homeownership journey, not just the moment someone needs a new sofa. Whether it works is still unproven, but it's a preview of how home retail could broaden. Let's shift to housing, because it's the backdrop for everything we do. Builder confidence slipped again in June, falling 2 points to 35 on the National Association of Home Builders and Wells Fargo Housing Market Index. To put that number in context, anything above 50 means more builders see conditions as good than poor, so 35 is well into pessimistic territory. And this was the 14th straight month the reading has stayed below 40. The last time it was this low for this long was during the foreclosure crisis back in 2011 and 2012.
Underneath that headline, the details tell the same story. The gauge of current sales conditions fell to 38. The measure of future sales held at 45, and buyer traffic held at 25. By region, the Northeast rose to 44. The Midwest held at 43. The South fell to 33, and the West fell to 27. Builders are responding with discounts. In June, 35% cut prices, up from 32% in May, with an average reduction of about 6%. And 62% used sales incentives, which marks the 15th straight month that figure has been at 60% or higher. The chairman of the association, Bill Owens, tied the softness directly to mortgage rates and affordability, noting the country is short roughly 1.2 million homes. And the group's chief economist, Robert Dietz, cited a study finding that government regulation, taxes, fees, and other costs add more than 26% to the price of an average single-family home. So why does this matter for furniture? Because housing turnover is a leading indicator for our demand. People buy the most furniture when they move. With confidence pinned near crisis-era lows and the country short well over 1 million homes, that pipeline of new home buyers stays constrained. The practical takeaway is that the housing-driven tailwind isn't coming back soon, so merchandising to replacement and refresh buyers matters more than waiting on move-driven purchases. Let's close the main stories with something every mattress retailer should hear. There's new research from the National Sleep Foundation, done in partnership with Tempur-Pedic, and it suggests we should change how we talk to shoppers about sleep. The big idea is to shift the conversation away from simply getting more hours of sleep and toward getting better quality sleep. The study is substantial. It pairs a nationally representative survey with data from more than 190 million nights of sleep captured through Tempur-Pedic's sleep tracker technology.
The findings are eye-opening. Most adults reported sleeping between 6.5 and 7 hours a night, which is below what's recommended. 70% said they have trouble staying asleep. 61% struggle to calm their minds at bedtime, and 47% experience physical discomfort while sleeping. The sleep tracking data also showed people typically wake up 1 to 2 times a night, even though their overall sleep efficiency runs around 90%. The study points to 4 main disruptors: racing thoughts and stress, physical discomfort, environmental factors like temperature, noise, and light, and finally snoring, which 45% of adults notice at least occasionally. For those of us selling bedding, this is a roadmap. It points towards selling solutions to specific sleep problems rather than just emphasizing hours slept. The Tempur-Pedic brand vice president, Jill Johnson, put it simply: better sleep starts with the right environment and the right support. In practice, that means training your sales staff to diagnose a shopper's actual complaint. Are they unable to stay asleep? Are they too hot at night? Are they dealing with physical discomfort? Then match premium features and smart sleep technology to that specific problem, and position that technology as added value rather than an upsell. Using real research to build trust and educate customers is the recommended play. Before we wrap, here are a few quick signals worth knowing. Artificial intelligence has gone fully mainstream across every generation of shoppers. Numerator's latest report found only about 2% of variation in AI acceptance across generations. Adoption runs from 80% of millennials and 77% of Gen Z, down to 76% of Gen X and 58% of baby boomers. Interestingly, Gen X is the generation most willing to shop with AI, including in categories like home and do-it-yourself. And while 75% of millennials say AI improves their efficiency, nearly half of them, about 49%, worry it will replace human jobs, and that worry is up 11 points from a year ago.
On the holidays, which are closer than they feel, a quarter of American shoppers say they expect to spend more this season, up from 17% who said the same last year, according to Salsify's Holiday Post report. Physical stores still lead when it comes to discovery. 60% of shoppers say they discover new products and brands in brick-and-mortar stores, and 59% find gifts there. And tariffs are nudging people toward American-made goods. 30% of shoppers say they prefer domestically made products, and 29% are actively trying to buy more domestically made gifts this year. So that's the week. The turnaround is real, but it's uneven. Soft home is leading, furniture is trailing, housing is still soft, and there's a clear opportunity in how we sell sleep. If you found this useful, take a second to subscribe so you don't miss next week's briefing. Thanks for listening.